Made with mushrooms, onions, and perfectly spiced, this black bean burger is hearty, robust, and not at all dense or mushy. Hi everyone, Kristen here. As someone who suffers from a chronic disease, I believe homemade is best, but it doesn't need to be complicated. Meatless burgers are all the rage right now, whether it's because meat prices are so high or you just want to incorporate more vegetarian meals into your diet. Most of us are turning to more vegetarian options at home. But when it comes to buying pre-made veggie burgers, have you taken a look at the ingredients? There's a lot of things in there that I can't even pronounce. We can make meatless burgers that are perfectly delicious, hearty, robust, and if you've had homemade burgers that are mushy or dense, don't worry. I'm sharing with you all the tips that will ensure you have a perfect meatless burger that even your carnivore friends will approve of. So let's get cooking. We're gonna start our burgers with one 16-ounce can of black beans that have been drained and rinsed well. And then we're gonna place them onto a cookie sheet here that's been lined with parchment paper and just spread them out. And then we're gonna pop them into an oven that's been preheated to 375 degrees, and we're gonna let the beans dry out for about 15 minutes. This step is crucial to ensuring that your burgers don't turn out mushy. We want to evaporate any excess liquid that the beans have, and they're gonna get dried out and give the burgers a nice chew and not be mushy at all. So we're gonna pop our beans into the oven for just about 15 minutes. While our beans are in the oven, we're gonna use that time to saute up some onions and mushrooms, which are gonna add flavor and heartiness to our black bean burgers. To a saute pan, I have about a teaspoon of oil that I'm gonna heat over medium-high heat. To the oil, I'm adding in a 1/4 cup of finely minced yellow onion. And we're just gonna saute that just until our onion begins to soften. The onion's looking good, and so to my onion, I wanna add in a 1/4 cup of chopped baby Bella mushrooms. The baby Bella mushrooms are going to add so much meaty heartiness to these burgers. It's incredible the flavor that mushrooms can impart to the burgers. Even if you don't like mushrooms, they're blended up into the patty and they really, really add a lot of flavor. But trust me on this, you don't want to use button mushrooms. You want to use baby Bella or cremini or shiitake mushrooms that have been finely diced up. We're going to saute our mushrooms and onions together for just a couple minutes until the mushrooms begin to break down. That looks good, so I'm gonna turn off the heat and just let that cool for just a little bit. I'm also going to dab my mushroom and onions with a paper towel. Again, we don't want excess moisture in our burgers so that we can ensure they don't end up mushy. At this point, my beans are done, so I'm gonna let them sit for just a couple minutes, just until they cool down, and then we're gonna process our patties. My beans are cooled, my onions and mushrooms are ready to go, and so now we're ready to make these black bean burgers. I have a food processor here that's been fitted with an S-blade, and to my food processor, I'm gonna add in the dried out beans, and then the mushroom and onion mixture, and for seasoning these patties, I have 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. If you only have regular paprika, go ahead and use that, it'll still be great. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. That's really gonna add a nice punch of umami flavor. Now to bind our burgers, we're gonna add in some breadcrumbs and an egg. For the breadcrumbs, I really recommend using panko breadcrumbs rather than traditional breadcrumbs. They have a lighter crumb, and so they're gonna keep our burgers from becoming overly dense. And nobody wants a dense meatless burger. So I have about 1/3 cup of panko breadcrumbs to start, and I'm adding that to the food processor. And I have 1 egg here that I'm adding. Now, if you're egg-free, you can still make these burgers using a flax egg, which is simply 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed mixed together with 2 tablespoons of water, and you just wanna let that sit for just a couple minutes and then pop it in your food processor in place of the egg. We're gonna pop our lid on our food processor and we're gonna pulse the mixture until it just comes together. We wanna be able to see some of the beans so that these burgers have texture. That's looking good. And if at this point you found that your burgers were a little still wet looking, you could add in up to a couple more tablespoons of the panko breadcrumbs and process again. But my mixture looks ready, so I'm gonna remove my S-blade carefully here, and then I'm going to shape this mixture into 4 even-sized patties. I'm gonna place the patties right on the parchment paper that I used to dry out the beans. No need to get a new sheet. And at this point, we can pop our burgers back into the oven that's still preheated at 375 degrees for 20 minutes, flipping halfway, which is my favorite way to prepare these burgers. Or if you want to grill or pan fry or air fry your burgers, pop this tray into your freezer for about 15 minutes. That'll let the patties firm up so that they hold their shape and don't fall apart when you're trying to flip them on the grill or in a pan or on the air fryer. They're ready, and so I love to serve them on a whole wheat bun and topped with some mashed avocado and some sliced tomato and some lettuce. And I'm gonna go in for a bite here. These burgers are incredible. I have had my fair share of bad black bean burgers, and I'm telling you, these are delicious. They have a lot of flavor. I can get a little bit of the smokiness from the smoked paprika, and the beans still have texture, and the mushrooms and onions really add incredible flavor. I'm telling you guys, these black bean burgers are perfect for your vegetarian friends or perfect just to cut down on food costs altogether and still enjoy a delicious burger. And if you want to know what pairs really well with these burgers, catch my next video where I share with you how to make Instant Pot potato salad. It's a classic done fast. Until next time, happy cooking.